School of Golf Short Game Special.
As you can see, we are not in the studio. We've broken out. Where are we? We're at Ibis Golf and Country Club in West Palm Beach, Florida, home of 3 Nicklaus golf courses, and actually, it's my home. It's where I teach golf on a day-to-day basis. Welcome to School of Golf. I'm Martin Hall, and with me, Holly Saunders to help us always. How do you like my office, Holly?
I think I need SPF 1 million because I haven't been out of the studio for what seems like years. But Martin, don't undersell this. You've been the director of instruction here at IBIS for more than 15 years.
I have, and I've loved every day of it.
And it is not a bad spot to be, obviously.
You got that right.
As Martin said, today he's finally going to have the chance to show you some shots that we could not in the studio, including where to use your putter that you'd never ever think to get yourself out of trouble. And if you'd like to become a part of the class, join us at School of Golf at golfchannel.com. Send us an email there or on Facebook.com/School of Golf to become, again, part of our class. We'd love to have you. All right, Martin, lesson plan. What's it looking like?
Well, we do need a lesson plan. Of course we need a lesson plan. The whole thing here is to be doing things that we cannot show you in the studio. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about some chipping, some pitching, some bunker play, some putting, but in unusual situations. Let's get right to it. This is a very tricky one for a lot of people. There's going to be 5 shots I'm going to show you today. It's going to be really tricky, this one, out of the rough around the green. Now, you can see here, I'm in the rough, ball sitting down. I've got 2 flag sticks here to show you 2 different shots. I'm often asked, how do I play the shot out of the rough? Well, I've got to ask you, where's the flag? Because if you don't tell me where the flag is, I can't tell you how to play it. Let's take the ball that's down in the rough, but let's go to the long flag. That's pretty simple. That's called cock and pop. Now, how do I do that? Well, I want to have a very sharp angle down with this shot because I don't want a shallow approach getting too much grass between the ball and the club face. So if I've got plenty of green to work with, here's my recommendation. Ball's going to be way back in the stance, weights forwards. I'm going to swing without using my arms 20 degrees. I'm just going to cock the wrists and pop down on it, and there won't be much follow-through. I don't want you trying to follow through. So if I've got plenty of green to work with, I want a very sharp angle. There's no arms going back to speak of. It's going to be cock and pop. Not bad, just a little bit thin, but not bad. Better than fluffing it halfway, that's for sure. One more there. It's cock and pop if I've got plenty of green to work with. Cock and pop. That one's a bit better, and you can see there's no follow-through there. Now, you don't always have a lot of green to work with. Sometimes you're in what I would call the short-sided position. This is a much more difficult shot, and actually, if you're not a highly skilled player, you might even be better to just play the cock and pop out of the, and that one came out very well, actually, out of the near pin. But if you want to be a bit adventurous, try and play what I would call the sort of the bunker shot. Now, this one, I am going to get grass between the ball and the club face. I am going to try and go under the ball. I'm going to try and play it somewhat like a bunker shot. I remember a bunker shot Freddie Couples played at the Masters many years ago, where as soon as he hit it, his right hand sort of fell off the club. And if you try to hit this soft shot, it's going to be ball forwards, face open. I'm going to try and slide the club under the ball. It's a tricky shot. It's a high-risk shot. And I'm probably just going to let the right hand come off the club just after I've hit it. Oh, don't you just love that? Now, that's a great way to hit those shots around the rough. But there is one other alternative. If you don't like Mr. Sandwich, then maybe, if you're only just off the green, you should lay to your new best friend, the putter. How can you use a putter out of the rough, Martin? Oh, I'll show you. That ball is sitting down. I'm not cheating. Amazing shot, this. Unless the ground is soaking wet, this always works. I'm actually going to put that ball so far back in my stance that I'm giving, 10 or 15 degrees negative loft on my putter. And again, I'm going to cock and pop it. But what happens here is I drive the ball into the ground, it bounces, and as you can see, it comes out with quite a lot of topspin. Now, you could use that to either the near pin, just cock and pop. Go on, you little beauty, hit the hole. Or you could use it to the far pin. Now, recommendation, never hit a shot that you haven't practiced a few times on the golf course, but worth practicing, but only if you're a few feet in the rough. One of the shots I really wanted to talk about today was something that I see a lot of people make a mistake with around the greens. When the ball gets way above your feet, such as this, people usually do something really wrong. I'm going to go to that far pin. I'm going to make sure I aim. Aim's very important here. And I'm going to hit this. And it's gone left of my golf bag. Why did that happen? Well, there's sort of a thing with loft. When the ball's above your feet with loft, the face sort of points left. Let me show you. When I lift this, I've got my magnet on my face there. You know I've seen that before. When I lift this club up, the higher I lift it, can you see so clearly how the face is pointing to the left? Now, that's very exaggerated. You wouldn't often have one that far. But for me to get the ball on target, I've got to aim a long way right when I'm using a very lofted golf club. Let me show you that. So if I wanted to get this ball to the far pin, and I wanted to get it by the target, I've actually got to aim considerably right. I think with the camera looking here, it doesn't appear as if I'm going to the far pin. Probably looks as if I'm going to the right of the right-hand pin. But because of what I've shown you, that sort of loft illusion, that ball's going to go fairly straight towards the flag. So for goodness sake, don't get aiming straight when that ball's above your feet. I'm going to be left with one more shot here, but I am going to need my caddy. Ah! There's my caddy.
Is this what you're looking for?
That is exactly what I'm looking for.
Show me.
Sometimes around the green you won't be in the rough. You'll be 7, 8, 10 feet off the green as I am here. And sometimes people use a putter. I don't think that's the best club. I've actually got my hybrid here, 21 degrees. Because of the 21 degrees and the low centre of gravity, it kind of looks like a putt, but it really isn't, because the ball skips up off the ground and rolls a bit better. So if you're 10, 12, 15 feet off the green, try hitting this shot with a putt. Now, I use my putting grip, and the ball does come out pretty fast. No leg action here. For me, it's very much a putt, but this is an absolute stroke saver to just hit it like a putt. And you can see how beautifully that rolls up there. If you haven't tried this one, it's a must.
And does it work out of the rough as well?
Not as well. Very good question, not as well. I mean, it would get snared up in the rough, so great question. Yeah, good catch there. Thank you, Holly.
Very nice. And we've seen major championships won this way.
Absolutely. Man won the British Open, I believe, doing that.
I believe so. All right, next up on the show, we're going to go to the beach. And Martin, leave your Speedo at home.
No Speedo. No Speedo. Wouldn't do that to you or anybody else.
Your Euro shorts, whatever they are. But it's not that kind of beach. It's a beach that could be penalizing to you, and Martin's going to show you how to save some strokes from the green side bunker. You don't want to miss it as the short game special continues here on School of Golf. Welcome back to School of Golf, a short game special at beautiful Ibis Golf and Country Club. Holly Saunders joined by Martin Hall. And Martin, you've been the director of instruction here for more than 15 years. Not a bad spot, and we are sweating a little bit, but I think some of our viewers would give about anything to be sweating right now up north, right?
Yeah, no snow here today.
No snow here. And we're showing you some tips that can help you with your game, of course, that we can't show you normally in the studio because we're finally outside. We've broken out of the office. So we're in the greenside bunker now. Martin, what do you got for me here?
Well, there's a couple of things. I've been teaching a long time, as you know, Holly, and this, I think, is the single most important bunker tip I can give the world at large. I'm often asked, how far behind the ball should you hit? And some people say 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. Okay, listen very carefully. It does not matter. Here's what does matter. Wherever you hit the sand behind the ball, the deepest part of your divot must be directly below the ball. So that would really mean if you hit 3 inches behind the ball, then you would come out 3 inches in front of the ball. If you hit 4 inches behind the ball, 4 inches out in front. I have a great drill that done properly will help anybody and everybody understand how to get that sand from under the ball. And what we're going to do here, Holly, I'm going to actually put your ball on a tee. And I'm going to just, as you can see here, there's the ball on a tee. I hope you can see that. I think you can. And I'm going to have you hit the tee from under the ball. So the first part of the bunker exercise is you do not hit the ball. I do not want the ball to move forwards. I want the ball to still be in the bunker.
Okay.
I'm going to put this ball on a tee right here.
Not supported by the rules of golf, just so you know.
Certainly not.
All
and your job is to knock that tee from under the ball. Under no circumstances are you to hit that ball, Miss Saunders. That's exactly right. Now, a question I'm also asked a lot is, should I aim at the target? Should I aim to the left? Some people say you swing across. Some people say you don't. What do you say, Martin? Let me show you my take on it, because it's a little bit different than many. My take is this. Look, here's a target line, and momentarily I'm going to point that at the target.
Okay.
And Holly, I want you to set up as if that was a golf ball.
Now, this is how I would set up off my left foot.
No, I want you to set up square first of all.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you what we do. And I'm going to say, you know, if you were swinging straight, you would have an arc that the club would move on, and the arc would have its sort of match to the target line. So if you held the club, if you aimed straight with the face square, you would swing up on that arc, you would swing down on that arc, you would hit the sand from under the ball and go through. Okay. If you did. I'm not going to let you do that, though. But there's no feeling of you swinging across the ball there, is there?
No, not at all.
What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to move that line to the left. So you've aimed to the left. Now, I think you can clearly see there the target, the line you're swinging on is now to the left of the target.
Certainly, yeah.
So I want you aiming to the left, swinging to the left, and the only thing you're going to do to get the bounce on it is you're going to open that club face so the club face is about on target. You will swing across the target line, but you will not swing across Holly. You're still going to swing on that same plane. That's how you can get what some call this nice shallow approach. It's across the target line, but not across your plane.
Okay. It's not across my body?
It's not across your body.
Great.
So one practice swing there.
Okay.
That's it. Now we're just going to put that ball on the sand here now. You can have a practice swing here. You normally couldn't, of course, but just put that ball on the sand. You've aimed to the left.
Take more sand with me.
A little bit more sand. Dig a bit more sand out here, Holly.
And dig your feet in, too?
Dig your feet in. I like that. Open face. That gives us the bounce. All right. Now, let's imagine there's a tee under that ball.
Let's try this.
Open the face so you've got some bounce. Hold the club a little fuller with the length, Holly. Right
like
up
this?
on the end.
Okay.
Now, you make sure you knock some sand from under that ball, young lady.
Sit.
Pretty
Stop.
nice.
Woo.
Probably could have just got a bit more sand from under the ball there, but not bad, Holly. A very good start.
Thank you very much, Martin, for helping us get out of the bunkers. And up next, Martin's going to help you save even more strokes. Now on the green, something else that we can't do inside of our studio. We're out here at beautiful Ibis Country Club to help you with big breaking putts. And if you want even more short game tips from the professor, go to golfchannel.com/School of Golf, where you can learn to build the ultimate chipping station and find a special version of Martin's library. We'll be right back.
Looking for feedback on your golf swing? With Golf Channel's Swing Fix, you can get a quick, easy, and affordable lesson from your choice of more than 60 instructors, including me and my team. Go to golfchannel.com/swingfix to upload your video and improve your game. Welcome back to School of Golf, our short game special. We are out of the studio. We're at Ibis, West Palm Beach. We're on the 9th green of the Legend Golf Course. I'm Martin Hall, joined by my friend Holly Saunders. And look at this. We're on the putting green, not a flat putt in sight. I love it.
Martin, finally, we're out on the course so we can show our viewers putts with a lot of break in them.
Indeed.
And I know that you've got a couple good ones lined up, but I'm going to go over to the side for a second, watch you, learn from you, and then come back to demonstrate what you say is the most misunderstood point in breaking putts.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, and a lot of people are going to learn from that. Okay, so we're on the 9th green here. It's a green with a lot of slope, which is why I chose it. I'm going to talk about uphill putts, downhill putts, left to right, right to left, short ones, and a very special thing. Let's deal with the uphill putt. I've got about a 15-foot uphiller here. Now, what's the common trait with uphill putts? People leave the ball short. And guess what? As they say, 90% of the putts that finish short don't go in. How do you handle that? Well, here's what I do. I put a ghost hole beyond the real hole. By a ghost hole, you can see I've got could be a piece of cardboard. These are actually production made. It could be a piece of cardboard. It's the size of a hole. And I take my practice strokes, and when I've got an uphill putt, I take my ghost hole past the real hole, and I take my practice putts looking at the ghost hole. And I'm trying to guesstimate how hard would I need to hit it to that ghost hole. That seems to be an extremely good way to make sure that I get the ball at least up to the hole, which apparently I did. One down. Okay, downhill putts. Do I still use the ghost hole? Yes, I use the ghost hole. More 3 putts come from downhill putts than any other putt, so I'll take my practice strokes again, looking at the ghost hole. Now, some people recommend hitting it off the toe for downhill putts. That works for some people. I actually prefer something I learned from the great putting guru Dave Pelz. I go way down the grip when I've got a downhill putt. And I'm going to take my practice strokes with a shortened grip at the ghost hole. Now, obviously here, I'm not going to leave the ghost hole in the way because the ball couldn't go in. So I'm going to put this up here, and it may come in useful a bit later, as a matter of fact. So I've got my imaginary ghost hole there. I've had my practice swings, and I'm going to try and trickle this ball down there. Downhill putts, you have to be very, very careful with downhill putts. Whenever you've got a downhill putt, it's like flashing red light, 3 putt might be coming up, 2 putts would be fine. Short breaking putts. I've got about a 5-footer left to right, and then I'm going to have a 5-footer right to left. Most people will miss this putt on the bottom side. A couple of points here that you should experiment with. Not everybody does it this way, but some do. The last thing I want to do is miss this putt on the low side. And so what I'm going to do with my left to right putt is, as opposed to my normal stroke, I'm going to address the ball a little further forwards in the stance. Why? Gives the time for the blade to close. I'm going to address it a touch more in the heel. Why? Because if I hit in the heel, the club might close a bit. And I'm going to feel I hit it with the right hand a little bit more. So in the heel, ball forwards, a touch more hit with the right hand, very lightly, will help me keep this ball slightly up on the top side. 2 out of 3, not too bad. Now, what am I going to do on the other side? Well, I'm going to do just the opposite, obviously, on the other side. Now I've got a right to left putt. This one's a bit trickier. But again, where most club players, most weekenders miss it, they all miss it down there. Like, you broke too much. No, you didn't give it enough land. So with a right to left putt, put the ball a bit further back in your stance. Why? Because the face would more likely to still be to the right. Play the ball a bit off the toe. Why? Because the face will open microscopically. Put the weight a bit forwards on the left side, and perhaps feel there's a bit more left hand. Now, subtle amounts of this, no doubt, but a little bit of this, a drop or two of this, will help you probably keep that ball up on the top side. Oh, I didn't hit it hard enough. What a coward. But you got the idea there. And now I want to come, Miss Saunders, to what I think is the most misunderstood point of putting.
Okay.
I've got some strings here set up. So let's go on over here, Holly. You set up to this ball for me, sweetie.
Okay.
I've got a straight line here, everybody. You can see this. I've got a straight line going to the target. We're going to call that the target line. I've actually putted this putt already today. Holly hasn't. But I've got a point there which we would call the apex of the putt. Done properly, the ball will go up here, it will roll over that apex, and at correct speed it'll go in the hole. Now, what is the apex? The apex is the highest point that the ball will be above the target line. So far, so good. Apex, high point, yeah. And you see all the caddies and the people. I think you should aim here. No, no, no. The ball goes over the apex, but you do not aim at the apex. It's like firing a bow and arrow. The moment you fire it, even though it's going up, it's falling to Mother Earth. This is a severe breaking putt. So although I want the ball to roll over the apex, you are to aim on this line. This is the true aim point line. And I'm actually going to say to you, Holly, pretend you are hitting a straight putt to that hole. Let gravity do the work. This is a tough one. I don't expect you to hold this. The ball will roll over this, but you are not aiming at the apex. Are we clear on that one?
I will do my best.
I know you will.
It looks strange in my mind, but I understand what we're trying to accomplish.
That was very well done. You never, ever aim at the apex. So big points there. Uphill putts, downhill putts, left to right, right to left, and apex. Never aim at the apex.
And miss on the high side?
Try and miss on the high side, yeah, certainly.
All right, some truth in that. And coming up next, we've saved the best for last. Martin's favorite drill and the thing that he finds that amateurs are the worst at. You won't want to miss it. This is School of Golf, Golf Channel. Welcome back to School of Golf, a short game special at beautiful Ibis Golf and Country Club. And Martin, we saved the best for last, or should I say the most difficult for last. This 50-yarder into the green you have some strong feelings about.
I do, Holly. I mean, most people play this shot a lot worse than they really know. They think they're okay and they're not. Let me show you here. I've got my sort of weed cutter here. Great respect to Harvey Pennick. Most people, when they're hitting this shot, either get the bottom of the swing too far back, or if they think they should hit down, they hit down too much. Neither of those are really very good. If you had a weed cutter, a weed whacker, you would want to just brush the grass. You can see I put my paint line there. Let me have my club, if you would, Holly. And I'm going to recommend that you practice swing to the side of the ball, just as if you're using a weed cutter. Brush, 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 brush. I've got the bottom of the swing in the right place. It's just as if I'm using that weed cutter. 50 yards, here we go. Not too bad at all.
Spin.
Oh, if they could all be like that. Brush, brush. Best tip I know for these shots from 40, 50 yards for most players.
Very good. And no homework this week, Martin.
No homework. Plenty of information in this show, though, for sure. And Holly, as always, it's been great to have you here today.
Thank you for having us out here to your club, here at Ibis Golf and Country Club. A great spot for every kind of player.
Well, I've been here 15 years, and I love every day of it. So, again, to Ibis, thank you so much for having me. And my mission statement for you and Holly and every golfer out there watching, just remember this. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you will surely keep getting what you've been getting. Make the effort, make the change. For Holly Saunders from Ibis Golf and Country Club, I'm Martin Hall.